football.
It was epic football, and that sometimes can be hard to predict. Hello again, Northeast Ohio. Welcome into our Friday edition of What's New, TGIF at WKYC.
Definitely,
That's
but it's
the deal.
a little chilly out there.
Still cold.
We're still dealing with snow.
Yeah.
It's just, it won't
But it's
ever
January,
leave us
as you
alone.
like to
Yeah, well, we do have a little update here for you. So we have a little lake effect that's coming in. These are just light snow showers, really decorative on top of
no accumulation
what snow
to speak
we have.
of?
Well, we say no accumulation. Then this morning we got 3 or 4 inches of fluff.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. It's just not heavy snow. It's just fluffy. So it kind of starts to add up. Anyway, the big story is going to be temperatures from here on out. Air temperatures now in the teens. Wind chills down around 0. And there's a wind chill advisory that is in place. Starts at 1 a.m., goes through 10 a.m. and is for all the inland counties. So it's basically the inland areas where we should be able to achieve those coldest temperatures. Jason's going to have an update on all of that coming up.
Quickly, what does that mean, wind chill advisory? That means
so that's
if we don't have to
basically
go out,
we're looking at wind chills between 10 and 15 below 0.
Oh, wow.
It gets into dangerous territory, so you don't want to be out for extended periods of time. It's more of a heads up than an actual warning. If we had a wind chill warning, that's when you just want to stay inside.
Stay inside. Okay. Well, with that, we welcome you to What's New with Betsy Kling. I'm Jay Crawford. I hope everybody stays warm this weekend. If you have to go outside, layers is the key.
Layers are definitely the key to it. All right. Well, we move on because, of course, we are just getting over this horrible winter storm that we had. And yeah, some parts of Cleveland are still digging out. And we had more snow that we woke up to this morning after that little round that came through. So less than 24 hours after Cleveland Mayor Justin Bibb just announced the city's new snow removal plan. Well, here's the test, right? Marissa Sines is live now downtown with how some of the plans panned out on day 1. How'd they do, Marissa?
Good evening, Betsy. Real quick, I want to confirm it's freezing outside. We've been standing here, and just within the last few minutes, like you mentioned, the snow is really starting to come down, and that's what we woke up to this morning, which made for some very slick slides around town. I know coming into work downtown, things were a little bit slippery. Of course, this was nothing as bad as what we saw on MLK Jr. Day, but still, it made for some, questionable scenarios and conditions out on the road. So we said, hey, Mayor Justin Bibb just announced this new feature, the snowplow tracker. Let's check it out. Let's see how it did. So the tracker is now part of the city's phase 1 of the new snow removal plan. That's what Mayor Justin Bibb announced yesterday. The tracker gives live updates on where city snowplows are and what streets have been plowed. Now, we followed along this morning, and at some point for about an hour or so, the tracker was actually offline. The website read technical difficulties. Now, a city spokesperson told me the servers were overwhelmed by the usage, but the issue was ultimately addressed. More to come. Mayor Bibb says more trucks and drivers are hired, about 20, and that's so that residential streets can be plowed simultaneously as those main streets and highways are being worked on.
To truly prioritize getting back to the basics, and that's why we are trying to bring 20 additional trucks and 20 additional drivers to support our snowplow removal.
Yeah, Betsy, being out here right now, even with this snow starting to come down a little bit harder, it seems as the minutes are going by here downtown. The roads look okay for now, but as always, go slow, be careful, and it's good to know that we have this tracker. We have information on it on our website, WKYC.com.
Yeah, and that tracker, of course, was like the easy first glance of the fix of the whole system. There's a lot more with hardware and, build-up that has to come still to fruition.
Right.
But Marissa, get warm, girlfriend. We appreciate the live report. We'll talk to you again coming up at 6.
Well, Betsy, turning to the coronavirus now, and more test kits are coming to Ohio. This thanks to a new partnership. The Ohio Department of Health is working with Project Access COVID Tests and the Rockefeller Foundation to make more rapid tests available to residents in traditionally underserved areas. Ohio is one of 6 states involved in this partnership, with 175,000 initial tests being made available through home delivery. And although the need for COVID tests remains high, our COVID cases here in Ohio continue to drop. It's a nice trend we're seeing.
It's a great trend. There are the numbers right there on your screen. 9,440 new cases reported in the last 24 hours to the state. That's well below the average of just over 19,500. That's that 21-day rolling average. Hospitalizations are also down for a second straight day. And the numbers that remain above average are ICU admissions and deaths from COVID-19. Well, our hospitals are still feeling the strain 2 years into this pandemic.
Yeah, they've been busy throughout this. More than a dozen U.S. Air Force medical personnel are now working alongside the team at the Cleveland Clinic to help. Today, Amanda Abraham spoke with members on their mission to provide that much needed support and relief.
They arrived last week with a warm welcome and got straight to work. There are currently 20 Air Force members working with the Cleveland Clinic. Among them are 4 doctors, 14 nurses, and 2 respiratory therapists. President Joe Biden had announced the extra support for hospitals in 6 states across the country to provide care to COVID patients. Lieutenant Colonel Dr. Charles Borders spoke to us today about how this mission has a familiar purpose.
This is certainly different than what we are used to doing, but at the bottom line is that this is the primary mission of the entire Department of Defense, is to protect the citizens of this country.
While COVID cases and hospitalizations are trending down, there's still a strain on local hospitals. For the clinic staff, the extra help provided by the Air Force offers an optimistic outlook and hope in the midst of challenging times. The Air Force members are scheduled to work with the hospital for 30 days, but Lieutenant Colonel Borders says that number can be reassessed based on any potential needs. Betsy?
We certainly, appreciate their service, but man, we just really heartfelt thanks to them for all that they've done. Thanks so much, Manny.
Absolutely.
Well, now on your feet at 5, Ohio is one of the latest states to legalize sports betting, and already we're learning more about companies that want a piece of this multi-billion-dollar pie. And by the way, the list of companies that are interested in tagging along, well, it continues to grow. And now that list includes the Pro Football Hall of Fame just down the road in Canton. They're building both a physical and virtual destination for fans to be able to participate. Brandon Simmons has more on that story.
More than $300 million have been poured into Canton's Hall of Fame Village to date, and this year will be no different.
We're building the destination. So we're in phase 2. It's about another $300 million worth of spend.
This year, we'll see additions to the sports complex completed, along with a new Center for Performance and Fan Engagement Zone coming later this summer. Included in that, a sports book, allowing fans to bet on the teams they love so much.
Our company will benefit from this financially in a very significant way.
Ohio lawmakers legalized sports betting in December, and the program must go live by January 1st of 2023. It allows for physical sports books as well as online betting. Hall of Fame Village announced a new partnership with global iGaming company Genesis to bring its online betting platform to Ohio.
But we knew that mobile is also something that our guests and our fans really want, right? The convenience of it. And so we'll be applying for our mobile license as well. And Genesis runs a very successful mobile business outside of the country.
Sports betting and online gambling is a growing industry that accounted for 21% of gambling revenue nationwide in the month of November. By 2024, it's expected to be a $3 billion industry in Ohio alone. That's why Hall of Fame Village leaders want to make sure they're in on the party. Another stream of funding to make Hall of Fame Village even greater.
We are positioned well for it. I mean, we meet all the criteria. We are an economic growth engine for Canton and Stark County. We're creating jobs. We're creating a lifestyle destination here that will make people happy.
Yeah, we know gambling makes a lot of people happy. A lot of people enjoy that. Now, Hall of Fame Village and other companies are all part of a licensing process that's required to host any type of sports betting, even when online. The exact rules and who gets a license will be announced at a later date. Now, assuming Hall of Fame Village does get one of those licenses, this will definitely be a game changer for them, Jay.
Yeah, but Brandon, this is a bit of risk investing, right? Because there still is the possibility that despite this infrastructure and this money they're pouring into it, that they don't get a license. I imagine that would be a possibility, right?
Yeah, that's definitely a possibility, something that they would be worried about, especially when we already know we'll probably see some of the licensing preferences go towards the sports teams who are already in each city and also towards the casinos and racinos that we already have active. However, they say by putting all of this structure in place now, it gives them a stronger chance of getting a license, which is why they're putting in all of this work. And it is the Football Hall of Fame, too, that they're associated with. So I would say there's probably a good chance that they're successful.
As they say, they have friends in high places. Brandon Simmons, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Well, we're officially now 1 week away until the opening ceremony of the Beijing Olympics. People lined up at a countdown clock in downtown Beijing today, getting ready for the big games. They're posing and taking pictures. The Winter Olympics will open inside a closed loop, and that, of course, means it will not have the usual number of spectators because of the pandemic. And more than half of Team USA boarded a plane and flew to Beijing yesterday. They left from Los Angeles, red carpet style and all. Remember, you can watch all of the games right here live on WKYC, your home for all Olympic action. The games kick off a week from today, next Friday, February 4th.
So excited about it.
Yeah, and we're also looking ahead here locally to the NBA All-Star Weekend. That begins, of course, in Cleveland 22 days from right now.
It seems like we've been saying it's coming for years, and we have, and now all of a sudden it's just 22 days away now. Well, we've learned who the captains and the starters are going to be. Yep, former Cavs star LeBron James will return to Cleveland as the All-Star Game captain for the West. It'll be his 18th All-Star Game. And Brooklyn's Kevin Durant will serve as captain for the East. Starters have also been announced, which does not include any of the Cleveland Cavaliers, but they could be named as reserves. Those players will be announced on February 3rd. Remember, February 10th is the All-Star Game draft to name the two teams. Then February 20th is the actual game, which of course takes place right here in Cleveland.
Yeah, that's going to be great. I think there's going to be a Cav or two that make the roster.
I don't know how they can't.
I know they're having a great year. When you look at the standings, they lost a game just the other night to Boston that they could have easily won. They should have won the game. Had they won that game, they'd be a half game out of the top seed in the Eastern Conference. That's territory we've never seen with a non-LeBron Cavaliers team. So let's hope that a couple of guys get on the team. I think at least two should, per my view, and we'll see what happens. Earlier this week, you may remember we had the conversation about the All-Star Game jerseys. We showed those jerseys to you, and those bets were not a joke.
That is just so sad on many levels. We have confirmation, yes, confirmation that the leaked ones are indeed those jerseys. Well, Nike today released the official uniforms that will be worn during the game, Rising Stars and the Celebrity Game, and you'll see a red jersey with white trim, silver jersey with light blue trim. So, a little Space Jammy on that one there.
You know, it is Space Jammy. That's a great point. It's almost cartoonish.
A little LeBron-y.
I don't see how they pay homage to Cleveland.
Yeah, still salty.
I know, I am too. I'm with you, Beth.
This is the logo that should be on everything.
Right? You would think. Okay.
Still ahead.
Yes.
It's Fashion Friday, everybody, on What's New. And if you're tired of wearing the same old, we have some stylish tips, especially some new looks to try heading into the weekend.
But first, the cat's out of the bag as the first family is growing by 4 more paws. We'll have the perfect video to show you.
How about that?
Next. What a beautiful animal.
And it's Friday. That means Jason Michael is in the Weather Center with a look at our forecast. Hey, Jay.
Hey, two good, fine-looking people. All right, Friday is here, and guys, it is cold out there. That Arctic blast is just pummeling right into Northeast Ohio. So if you have to go outside for this evening, please bundle up. We got 20s and even teens moving on in. We'll talk about that full forecast and what it's like for your weekend coming up.
Welcome back to What's New. The White House just got a little bit more crowded thanks to a new family member living inside.
That's right. Meet Willow. President Biden and First Lady Jill Biden have added a cat to the family. Willow is a 2-year-old gray and white female farm cat from Pennsylvania. The First Lady named Willow after her hometown of Willow Grove there in the Keystone State. Willow joins her brother, Commander, a German Shepherd puppy. That has got to be kind of fun and terrifying at the same time. You're in this beautiful, historic house of the people.
Right.
And you have a cat and a dog meeting for the first time.
There might be some symbolism to this. You know, if cats and dogs can live together, can't Democrats and Republicans? Can't we all just please get along?
It's asking a lot, actually. I think there's better success for the cats and dogs at this point.
I will say that is a gorgeous animal.
Yeah.
A very photogenic
I'm
kitten.
impressed. You aren't exactly like the cat guy.
I'm not.
So,
I share a space with one because I have to.
It tolerates you.
But that's exactly how it works. Each day I have to have my credentials renewed before I can come back in the home.
You man, too.
Terrible, Jay.
All right, Jay. We have to keep in mind the pets that are outside definitely should be inside when the weather gets this cold.
Those 4 Ps I talk about: pets, pipes, plants, and people.
There you go. Well, the plants we don't have to worry so much about because if they've been outside, they're toast.
Yeah, they're
got to be protected. You can see behind Jay and Betsy there on our CSU cam, we have a little bit of snow moving through. This is not too terrible though, but it is causing some visibility snares across Cuyahoga County for this evening. Our theme of this weather story is the cold, my friends. You can see there we still have some advisories to talk about, a wind chill advisory, in fact, and Betsy touched on this at the top of the show. It begins tonight at 1 a.m. through 10 a.m. for tomorrow, as we are expecting wind chills as low as 15 degrees below zero. So very, very cold. I don't care how you look at it. You're going to really, really be feeling this across much of Northeast Ohio, even if you're not under that wind chill advisory. And this is because we have a very potent Arctic high pressure that is settling right across the northern shore here, and it is going to be moving south into our region, causing all those north winds to kind of submerge our temperatures even lower than what we had this morning, last night, and even the day before that. And we're also going to be dealing with a bit of a change in terms of our trough pattern as we move through the weekend as well. So your National Designer hour-by-hour forecast will kind of paint a picture of some modest cloud cover overnight tonight. Temperatures will settle. You can see where that north wind really comes in about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Surface temperatures tomorrow, some of which is going to be flirting between 0 and 5, and some of it, even farther inland, is going to be down into the negatives, not including that wind chill factor. So you slap that on top of that, and it's really going to be bone chilling out there as well. Once we get through our Saturday, a brief high pressure, as you can see there, will be kind of peeling back some cloud cover. We'll get some sunshine in here, but not going to be too much is going to warm us up. And this is what Bets and I were talking about. We sort of have an albedo is what we call it, when that radiation comes and hits the surface and it is reflected back. So any sort of sunshine that we get, it'll be nice and we can feel it on the skin a little bit and enjoy what it looks like here, but it's still going to be cold. Overnight lows tonight, again, single digits, likely going to be some negatives for some, including that wind chill. But the Union Home Mortgage 7-day will show that we start to trend warmer by Sunday heading into Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. This is where we're watching our next big system to come back in. Rain, snow mixing on in, and even temperatures falling behind another potent system next weekend. Some of it, we have not had that cold so far this season as well. So much more to talk about here on What's New after the break.
Welcome back to What's New. It is Friday,
Yes.
and that means it's Fashion Friday. We'd like to take a look at what's new in the world of fashion. Remember 2 years ago, before we really got into the throes of the pandemic, we were dressing much differently then.
Right.
So this pandemic has changed a lot of things, but among them, it's changed the way we dress.
Yes, leggings, sweatpants, onesies.
Comfort clothes.
Became huge in 2020,
Yeah.
right? Well, now if you are sick of the sweatpants, leggings, and onesies, no, the fashion industry is already moving forward with comfort reaching a new status. Our Sarah Shookman and 2 local style experts show us how to approach our own closets with a better mindset and shop for the future.
Historically, whenever there are major events happening in the world, it affects fashion.
The fallout from COVID is reaching into our closets. After 2 years, the uncertainty about our lives extends to what to wear.
Part of what I do is talk to clients about what are your life roles? What do you need to get dressed for? Every single person's like, well, pre-COVID, I used to do XYZ. Now, nobody knows. We're all lost and we're all disconnected, but we are all in it together.
WKYC fashion expert Hallie Abrams gets it. With fewer social interactions and new priorities, there's been a major shift in the way her wardrobe clients here in Cleveland and beyond approach getting dressed. Even traditionally formal occasions like weddings have gotten more casual. And when it comes to work wardrobe, it's confusing even for those back in the office.
It feels like you're sort of going in on a Sunday when nobody's there, even if it's a Tuesday. Do you have to wear a suit and tie? We're in no man's land with that right now.
With so many unknowns, Hallie says the answer is often the one you like best.
That's what I talk about with clients all the time. You're the one sending the message to the world with what you're wearing. It is less about being in style or on trend. It is more about feeling put together and modern and current.
When getting dressed is feeling hard, one easy tip, brighter colors are a fail-safe, or should we say zoom-safe choice.
And I'm not trying to throw you under the bus, but you're wearing black, right? It doesn't pop. I'm wearing red and it's like popping because it's on Zoom. And I think people have gotten into a place where they're a little more comfortable experimenting with color and they're realizing that it does make a big difference when you're doing Zoom calls or presentations or whatnot.
At Canoes in Pepper Pike, co-owner Sherry Bryan says she's seeing an appetite for functional fashion.
This little jacket would be great with white jeans and sneakers in the dead of summer. The shirt could be worn any time of year. That's a trend in fashion right now, is seasonless clothing, things that work in your wardrobe wherever you are.
Instead of buying seasons ahead for the store, Canoes is focused more on what you can wear now. They too have been hit hard by supply chain issues.
I say to all my friends and customers, I'm not just trying to sell it. If you see it and you like it, you should buy it. Because honestly, finding it again is going to be tough.
And if you've fallen behind on your fashion, it's okay to stick with what you know moving forward.
I think the best way to really know if you're liking things in your wardrobe is to try them on and wear them.
I think the best way to approach it is to think about what you love in your wardrobe, what works for you that you already own. Think about what you love, what you feel comfortable in, and try to build on that.
We have Sarah doing that story. She always looks amazing. Thank you, Sarah, for that. Now, if you are looking for more inspiration, Hallie has a Shop Your Wardrobe challenge going on. My ears perked up with this. With 31 days of outfit ideas based on what you already own. We have that link on our website, WKYC.com.
That sounds pretty cool. All right, now to our worth to watch. Most can agree if you're on a roller coaster, you're looking in front of you. But check out this dude. He decided that he was going to turn around and stare at the person in the car behind him who was filming him the entire ride, Betsy. Whoa. This was at Universal Studios theme park. Okay. I don't know I could do that without getting violently ill.
Don't mind your neck whipping all over the place. And not to mention the fact that dude in the back seat has his phone out. If you do that at Cedar Point, you are out of the park.
And I think, judging by the guy next to him, that rider is 8 foot tall. And I would be a little concerned that he would hit the cave when he went underneath that bridge. Look how tall that guy was.
He's like on a bike thing, though. See?
Is he?
Yeah, it's part of the ride, I think.
Oh, you're right.
That might be the Harry Potter ride, actually. Now that I look at that.
Could you do that? Could you go the entire ride looking back like that?
I don't think so.
All right, there you have it.
Don't try
worth the
that at
watch.
home, everybody.
No, don't.
All right, coming up in the next half hour of What's New on this Friday, construction kickoff. We have the first look at the new Sherwin-Williams Global Headquarters Complex in downtown Cleveland as work is now getting underway.
Super excited about that. Then Mascot makeover, but a lot of people aren't thrilled about the changes. We're going to tell you what's behind M&M's and Minnie Mouse's new looks coming up as our top talker.
And now, live from WKYC Studios, this is What's New.
Let's get to three things to know now at 5:30. Today was the first day for Cleveland's new snow removal plan. This was announced by Mayor Justin Bibb just yesterday. One of the newest features is a snowplow tracker that gives live updates on where city plows are and what streets have already been plowed. It was live before, but now it's available to the public. We followed it along this morning, and for about an hour, the tracker was offline. The website crashed. It just said technical difficulties. A city spokesperson says the servers were overwhelmed by the usage. You bet.
Well, the Sherwin-Williams company officially broke ground today on their brand new downtown facility. Take a look. This is their new global headquarters, what it will look like when it's completed. And of course, it is located right downtown in Cleveland near Public Square. It will consist of, get this, 1 million square foot of space. It's going to house over 3,000 employees. Sherwin-Williams says construction should be completed by the end of 2024, and it will come with a $450 million price tag.
And thank you very much for that. And we are officially 1 week from the opening ceremony of the Beijing Olympics. The Winter Games will open inside a closed loop without ordinary spectators due to the pandemic. More than half of Team USA boarded a plane to China yesterday from LA for the 17-hour flight. You can watch all the games here live on WKYC, of course. We are your home for all things Winter Olympics. And again, it kicks off Friday, February 4th, goes all the way through the 20th. So many events, so much coverage.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting because pandemic and a lot of remote, but it's going to be exciting nonetheless.
I get into the Winter Olympics, man.
I get into Summer Olympics. I get into Winter Olympics.
I love summer. Yeah. What am I saying?
Much.
I love the summer just as much as the winter. But the winter, see, in the summer, you can be outside and you can be doing fun things because the weather is nice. But what's there to do outside? I mean, we got wind chill advisory. Is that what we have?
Very good, yeah.
So why would anybody want to go outside? So what I recommend is come Friday night when the games start, you get a lot of hot chocolate, you sit in front of the fire and the TV, and you just watch these games, which normally who cares about luge?
Yeah.
But every 4 years, man, I'm standing up and screaming
right?
for Team
There's
USA.
so much. I think there's more of that element of danger in the Winter Olympics than the Summer Olympics.
No question.
No
question. Downhill skiing alone.
Yeah, let's go down a hill 80 miles an hour on 2 pieces of wood. Why
Around
not?
many
I know it's not
curves
wood.
that are very tight.
Yeah, among other things.
Yikes.
All right, well, with that, we welcome you back to the second half hour of What's New on this Friday.
Yeah, so we begin this second half hour with our top talker. You've probably heard a lot of conversation about this over the last maybe week or so. Here's the deal. A couple of big companies are giving their mascots makeovers. From the sweet M&M candies to Minnie Mouse, different looks for them are capturing the nation's attention. And these revamps are sweeping the internet and even network television.
But needless to say, not everyone is happy about the changes. No surprise there. NBC's Jacob Soboroff explains what's behind these makeovers.
One of Disney's most iconic characters getting a modern makeover.
Nice slimming sweater is what you need.
Minnie Mouse, trading in her classic red and white polka dot dress for a navy blue pantsuit with a signature bow to match. The new look created by British fashion designer Stella McCartney to celebrate the 30th anniversary of Disneyland Paris and Women's History Month in March. It comes nearly 100 years after Minnie's movie debut. McCartney calling the outfit, quote, a symbol of progress for a new generation. But the fashion change is being met with some criticism.
They're trying to destroy fabrics of our society, pretending that there's issues. So everybody looks over here. Look at Minnie Mouse. Don't look at inflation.
Following blowback over another mascot makeover. Last week, candy maker Mars announced that its M&M characters had been redesigned to become more inclusive. A change that included the female brown M&M's high heels replaced with more sensible pumps, and the green M&M ditching her go-go boots for sneakers, and both with less makeup. Some questioning the change.
Were there women who identified with the green M&M? I'm genuinely asking, genuinely. Because as a guy, I know I've never looked at any of those M&Ms and been like, yeah, that's me, bro. I feel seen.
Disney and Mars, just the latest companies working to adapt to fast-moving cultural changes. Some to better reflect their consumers, and others to address outcry over racist imagery and names, like Aunt Jemima's Pancake Mix, which became Pearl Milling Company, Uncle Ben's Rice, now Ben's Original, and the Washington football team retiring its original name and logo after it was denounced for years as a racial slur for Native Americans. Georgetown marketing professor Niru Paharia says consumers are demanding better representation.
It becomes a question for companies. Is this something that we are going to steer towards, or are we going to kind of stay the course and do what we've done forever?
Some of America's most iconic companies trying to keep a foot in the past while evolving with the future.
I'm not quite sure where to go with all that. There's a lot to unpack in that topic because there's many layers to this, right?
Yeah.
A clothing change is certainly a different conversation than something that is racially sensitive.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I wouldn't have commingled the two of those.
Yeah, I think there's two
separate
layers.
Issues.
Yeah. I completely agree.
And on the pantsuit, I think this needs clarification because it really wasn't so clear in the piece. Minnie is going back to the skirt after March.
Yeah.
It's a temporary thing, and it's just a way to bring awareness to National Women's Awareness Month, which is March. Okay, so we talk about this all the time. Why do companies do this? Well, in large part because they're getting free advertising from Jay and Betsy and thousands like us. They're in the news cycle, and they're doing it without spending a penny. And as we talked about earlier this week, a commercial in the Super Bowl is worth $6.5 million for 30 seconds.
Crazy.
Now, we're not giving them that much exposure here. It's just the Cleveland market. But if every market handles this topic as a talker, we're talking about M&Ms and Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse for free for how many seconds and that's money.
And for the record, I'm pretty sure the green M&M wanted to ditch the go-go boots for the tennis shoes.
It's much more comfortable.
What girl wears those heels all day?
I didn't even know they had shoes. So there's that.
And there's that too. All right, well, straight ahead here on What's New, Baker Mayfield may be off of social media, but that doesn't mean he's not being seen on social media. Where the QB was spotted post-surgery, coming up in Clicking in Cleveland.
There are cameras everywhere. And we don't know who's taking the field for Super Bowl 56 yet, but I have an idea. And so does Nick Camino. And we're going to take our stab at making Super Bowl picks later in the program. But first, we have a new mini segment. We debuted it last week. It's called Whether or Not. It's sort of like Matt's Weather in a Jiffy, but Jason is the brainchild behind this one. And I liked it last week. It was fun.
I'm excited about this segment.
Yeah, I think it's
there's
fun.
going to be a lot of people that are like, oh, yeah, I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, where is it?
So I want to show you guys the picture. This is what the picture looks like, okay? It's making us feel a little bit more summery-like, right?
Yeah.
We feel good about this one. Here's some clues, though, okay? It is the home of the original tulip flower, okay?
Okay.
Home of the original tulip flower. This city sits on 2 continents.
Ooh.
And has the world's largest covered market of over 3,000 shops.
Ooh.
Get your guesses ready.
Okay.
We'll have the answer right after this.
Try not to sneeze.
Oh, you have to sneeze?
All of a sudden, gotta sneeze.
Hold on.
She's buying time.
Look at the light. Look into the light.
Look in the
Bets.
light, and
Look
then you
into the light.
push your tongue to the roof of your mouth.
I've never tried that.
Yes, you're right.
Oh, they say do Miss Piggy.
Look at the light.
Nose out.
Look straight
I'm
into it.
looking at the light. The light hurts my eyes.
And we're not
Okay.
going to get the sneeze, I guess. Jay, I'm thinking about your whether or not city.
Okay.
And I'm either going to really impress or really embarrass myself.
You got 2.5 minutes, so let's
Okay.
get to it, guys. All right, we're going to do this forecast first for you guys. I want to show you where my focus is for this evening, okay? And we'll talk about this as the weekend goes on as well. An Arctic funnel is moving into what I call NEO, Northeast Ohio, with that wind chill advisory Betsy talked about at the top of the show, and I talked about this last half hour. It is an extra reminder to protect the 4 Ps, the pets, pipes, plants, and also people, because we have some dangerous cold moving on in. Doesn't look too menacing on this satellite and radar, but what we have is this Arctic high really taking charge across most of the Northeast corridor and also the New England states. Wind chill advisory you can see stretching down into parts of Pennsylvania, upstate New York, even extending over towards New Hampshire. Winter weather advisories also well down to the south, and even some blizzard warnings stretching from the shores of Maryland all the way up north through Maine. For us here, not at home, we're not dealing with any sort of blizzard that's happening here. This is the theme of our weather story for today and also through the start of the weekend. Wind chill advisories going into effect tonight at 1 a.m. through 10 a.m. for tomorrow, with wind chills likely being anywhere from 10 below to perhaps even 15 below. So dangerous cold, as I said before. Kicking off a little bit of lake effect snow showers right now. Again, nothing too terrible. I think we'll make it through the weekend pretty much okay. Increasing cloud cover by the end of the weekend on Sunday, and then what we start to see is a trend in warmthness. You can see there we have warmer temperatures Sunday, upper 20s, low 30s. Finally getting above the freezing mark, my friends, but this is going to come at a cost for us, okay? We're going to have some rain moving in and likely some snow mixing in as well, with another system really starting to exit the region on Thursday with falling temperatures throughout the day. Of course, we're going to be watching that and talking about that in greater detail as the days wear on. All right, let's go back to our picture here. The clues that I gave Jay and Betsy earlier in our Whether or Not segment was this city sits on 2 continents, not 1, but 2. It's the home of the tulip flower, the original home of the tulip flower, and also has a covered market of over 3,000 shops. So
Betsy's telling me I have to go first.
Okay, Jay.
And I'm going to be completely honest here. I was going to say Bangkok.
Ooh.
But then as I looked closer at the image, I happened to see the font in the upper right that said Visit Istanbul. So boom!
That's what I was like. I'm going to have him go first because he was all like, oh, is this the Far East? And I'm like, yeah, obviously it's the Far East. Yeah. Meanwhile, it says Visit Istanbul on there. I'm like,
let's a big fat Istanbul. Hey, this is a new segment. We're trying to refine it, okay? Go easy on us.
Jay, I love the effort. It's
well played.
fun, but next week, let's Photoshop out the name of the city.
We'll Photoshop it out. But I will tell you guys this very, very quickly. They had a major snowstorm earlier this week that also impacted portions of Greece as well. So a lot of people
Oh, I saw that.
really dealing with that. So that's our weather connection.
Yeah, okay. I saw that. All right, wonderful.
Thanks, Jay.
Thanks.
Well, now it's time to see what's clicking here in Cleveland. For that, we bring in our digital anchor, Stephanie Haney. Hi, Stephanie. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday to you. This first story is for the tech nerds who are also very good at Photoshop, mind you. We can hook you up with them, Jace. They're going to get excited about this story, though. The LeBron James Family Foundation is partnering with Crypto.com. This is about access to the new Web3, which has been called the future of the internet. Now, it uses blockchain technology, which is revolutionizing our economy, sports, entertainment, and really how we engage with each other across all places. James says this partnership will help ensure that communities like the ones that he comes from are not left behind, and they are very excited about it. Now, after the Cavs beat the Milwaukee Bucks on Wednesday, this video of forward Giannis swept the internet.
We suck. Played bad. They made shots, they played good, they played better than us.
It wasn't for that comment, though. It was because he brought his post-game snack to the press conference. Former NBA player and ESPN analyst J.J. Redick reshared the Bucks video, writing, "Best post-game wings in the league are in Cleveland." Now, these are from Quaker Steak and Lube, and if you're wondering where to get them, they want you to know they have several spots in town, including 2 stands in Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse, and there is one in Canton. And just because Baker Mayfield is off social media does not mean the conversation about him is over, not by a long shot. He was spotted the other night in Los Angeles by one of his biggest critics, Fox Sports' Colin Cowherd, who shared this photo of his friend's Italian eatery called Slay Italian, where they were at, and he said that he's been critical, but he needs to be fair, and that Baker was very nice, classy, and impressed his friend, the owner. Now, it was not that long ago that Cowherd pledged to never talk about Baker again, so this is quite the departure for him, being so kind to that Cleveland Browns quarterback who we love so dearly. Now, maybe that role is just for the show, Jay and Betsy, but it is nice to see these two making nice, even though we won't get to see Baker's response because he's not online.
Yeah.
It is just for the show. And I've known Colin for years, and he's a super nice guy. Like, there's no way you could know him and meet him and not like him. So I'm kind of torn because I wish he would go easier on Baker.
Yeah.
But I really like Colin, and I know a lot of you will get upset to hear me say that, but he is a good human being, a very nice person. And that was a classy act. He didn't have to do that. It was a class act.
And can we talk about Baker's arm not being in a sling?
Progress.
Did anybody else notice that?
Yeah, progress. And let's co-sign that Quaker Steak has some bomb wings.
Ooh.
They are so good.
Bone in or boneless?
Boneless.
Boneless for me, but if I'm going bone in, I do like the drums.
All right, very good.
When I ate meat.
Yes,
Yeah.
back in the day.
Now you're into like tofurkey and stuff like that.
Coming up in What's New, the countdown is on for the Super Bowl. Nick and I are going to predict the winners of this weekend's big championship games. That's next.
Oh, this will be good.
Okay, man, something happened just a minute ago that is, I hope we can talk about it later. We're so tight on time. But Super Bowl 56, a little more than 2 weeks away. The excitement is building. They're getting the field ready. Let's talk about the big games, shall we? I'm going to zip through this segment, so try to follow me in the control room. Here's the matchups this weekend. Niners-Rams, that's the 7 o'clock game on Sunday. Bengals-Chiefs kick it off at 3. Huge, huge games. Nick Camino's here now. Had a rough week last week.
Yeah.
He was 0 for 4 in his picks.
Great to be here.
But I wasn't much better. I was only 2 for 2. So the way we stand right now, Nick is 5-5. I am 7-3. But if Nick gets all 3 of the remaining games right, he can still beat me. So Nick, you better go opposite my picks.
That's pretty much what I had to do.
Yeah.
It's always great to be here. I've shoveled like 17 times the last 2 days. That's been great, Betsy. And we have potty training going on at our house. So I'm thrilled to do this segment after going 0-4 right now. This is just fantastic. I just want to let you know. Here we go. Weekend predictions, Jay. I'm going opposite of you. Spoiler alert. I'm taking the Cincinnati Bengals. They're a 7-point underdog. I don't care. Joe Burrow has proven he can win big games. The Chiefs can't cover Jamar Chase. So I'm going to take the Bengals on the road to win straight up as a 7-point underdog. I actually think that won't win at all, but I had to go opposite of you. So what are we going to do?
You did.
Second game, I'm going to take the San Francisco 49ers. There's a trend here, okay? The Niners, 6-0 against the Rams over the last 3 seasons. Again, 6-0 against the Rams over the last 3 seasons. You know what they say about trends, though? A trend is your friend till the end. That'll probably lose, too. So that's where we're at. I'll probably go 0-6.
I think the Bengals played the Niners in both of their 2 Super Bowl appearances, right?
That's right. That's
So,
exactly right.
Who knows? Okay. I'll be quick. Kansas City's going to win.
Yes.
No question about that. They
Yes.
beat the Bengals. And the Rams will end that trend, and they will beat their friends from NorCal. It will be the Chiefs and the Rams in Super Bowl 56 in L.A. L.A. will have the home field advantage. Nick, the first 55 Super Bowls, only once did a host team make the Super Bowl. That was last year. Tampa Bay won at home. That's not going to happen this time around. The Rams will get there, but they will lose to the Chiefs, who will win their 2nd Super Bowl in the last 3 years.
And let the record reflect your Packers pick and my Bills pick officially dead.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Full
Those were our
transparency.
picks from the beginning.
Full transparency here.
All right. Thank you very much, Nick.
Yes.
Did we save any time by zipping through that, Sarah, or are we out of time? We did. Okay, so I'm going to quickly tell this story.
Yes.
This
I was
is
trying to go
phenomenal.
live in our Facebook page
This is
with
phenomenal.
the video, and I couldn't remember how I've done it before, so Steph Haney was helping me, and instead of going live to the whole group, I actually was FaceTiming with individual viewers.
You dialed a specific person.
Well, I didn't. Anybody in the group could answer, and they started popping up.
Yeah.
And it was like a little FaceTime Zoom call with our viewers. And the first guy that answered was like, hello? What the heck is going on right now?
And Jay's like, we're calling our viewers.
Oh, my goodness. Technology and I
Hey,
don't miss.
this is all fun and part of being on the 3 What's New Facebook page.
Yeah, please join.
If you're not with us, you just don't know what's going to happen, especially if Jay takes it over. It's a hot mess. Anywho, coming up, we have a double dose of cuteness to show you how some babies are learning to talk, and one of them is a familiar face. All ahead and show us something good.
Hey, sir. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4. Good evening, and thanks for being with us. I'm Russ Mitchell. Gotcha. Okay.
The word, huh? Oh, the word to watch tonight. I'm trying to talk to you.
We have a double dose of Show Us Something Good today, and there's nothing quite like a baby saying their first words, or at least that's what the parents are thinking that they're saying, their real first words. Anyway, take a look at this one.
I love you.
I think that was a real I love you.
That's
By the
a
way,
good one.
Bets, that was sent to me by your dad.
This bromance you and my dad
I
have
love
going
it.
is terrifying.
Thank you, Papa Kling. Mom and Dad swear the baby said, I love you. And so we were talking about this video yesterday, and then Laura came into work, and Laura said, oh, well, guess what?
You've got to say this.
My baby said his first word today. Watch this. Can you hear it? That's Laura in the background whispering hi, and Jackson with his first word. Hi, and by the way, there's not a cuter baby in the world.
Did he say it? I think he said it.
He did. You told me he was reading, so
Yeah, he was
it
reading
didn't
about
surprise me.
With that little raspy voice. Hi. I want to say he said it.
It was beautiful. It made my day. It was great.
You always post such great things about Jackson.
He's always
on your
smiling.
Instagram.
Not always.
That's it. We're out of time. We're passing the ball now to the 6 o'clock team.
That's right. What matters most with Russ and Laura starts right now. Have a great.
Now at 6, removal redo.
We launched an online snowplow tracker in a week.
With yet another round of winter weather today, we check to see just how well the city's new snow removal system is working. Also, bridge collapse.
But the good thing at this point is there's no fatalities.
Just hours before a visit from President Biden on infrastructure, Pittsburgh sees a city span collapse under the weight of cars and a bus. We'll have the latest from the scene. Welcome, warriors. A special honor for the military heroes helping local hospitals in the middle of the pandemic. And betting on Ohio. We'll have the latest on sports betting in the state and how the Pro Football Hall of Fame is getting into the business.
From the WKYC studios, this is What Matters Most.
Hey, good evening. Thanks for being with us. I'm Russ Mitchell.
And I'm Laura Queso. Today's snow giving way to the return of that Arctic cold across Northeast Ohio tonight.
Let's get a first check of your weekend forecast. Meteorologist Jason Michael is here.